Okay, Martin Saar-Arias, do stay with us as we have further stories coming out of Europe. France's former president Nicolas Sarkozy vows that the truth would win after he was released from prison under judicial supervision ahead of an appeal trial over Libyan funding. Sarkozy was sent to prison on October the 21st after he was found guilty in September of criminal conspiracy over efforts by close aides to procure funds for his 2007 presidential bid from late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. According to the investigators, in return, Gaddafi was promised to help restore his international image after Tripoli was blamed for the 1988 bombing of a plane over Lockerbie, Scotland, and another over Niger in 1989, killing hundreds of passengers. Joining us once again is Martin Saar-Arias. Of course, this is a huge case coming out of Paris over the past 48 hours. Sarkozy says the truth will win out. Do you see his release under judicial supervision a legal formality? What does this say about the power of Europe's political elite?
Legal review and a strong constitutional right that defends every sentenced person to a fair trial. I think that reviewing the situation of Sarkozy being involved in this huge 2007 case of political conspiration and political corruption, I think France will do a fair trial and will review it with all of the weight of the law. However, I think that it's not very easy. I don't think Sarkozy is going to be automatically out of prison. I think the whole system needs to review it, and we will see the development of this issue in the following weeks. But I think that if Sarkozy has the right and has all of the proofs to have a fair review, it will be put into freedom, but in following a very strict process.
Yes, indeed. Martin, once again, do stay with us as we have further news coming out of Europe this hour. The Kazakh president of Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has announced that during his visit to Russia, the parties will sign a declaration on a comprehensive strategic partnership and alliance between the two countries. Tokayev has said that the signing of the declaration on transitioning relations between Kazakhstan and Russia to a comprehensive strategic partnership and alliance would be the key item on his visit to Moscow. He added that the document would open a new era in bilateral ties, confirming an unprecedented level of mutual trust and a shared readiness for closer cooperation across all areas. This comes as the trade turnover between Russia and Kazakhstan is approaching $30 billion a year, and the two countries are actively expanding investment cooperation with investments over $50 billion. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has said that Russian President Vladimir Putin will host the Kazakh president, and top agenda talks will include trilateral gas projects and the supply of natural gas. Okay, we move on once again. Okay, we have some breaking news coming out of India, and in some of the latest updates coming out of the Delhi car blast, we are now learning that the death toll has risen to 12 individuals. A day after the explosion near Delhi's Red Fort, the government has handed over the investigation to the National Investigation Agency. The decision came during a high-level security review chaired by India's Home Minister Amit Shah. Senior officials, including the Union Home Secretary, Delhi Police Commissioner, Director of the IB and NIA Chief attended, with Jammu and Kashmir's DGP joining virtually. Relatives of the victims are grieving as bodies are returned after their identification. Let's take a listen in to a relative of the victim.
लास्ट थी इसके अंदर मोर्चरी के अंदर जिसका कोई नाम पहचान नहीं हो पाया था, बाकी का पहचान पूरा मोर्चरी में भी 10-12 लाश है। जो 3 लाश था जिसकी पहचान नहीं थी उसमें एक लाश मेरा है जो 3 नंबर का। तो मैं घर पे था तो मेरे को किसी ने फ़ोन करके बोला जो चांदनी में बम ब्लास्ट हुआ। सुबह RDX पकड़ा गया तो फरीदाबाद में कुछ ऑपरेशन में पकड़ा गया तो बोला देखो वहाँ पकड़ा गया, यहाँ ब्लास्ट हो गया। तो मैं उन सबके साथ बैठा हुआ था, बट वहाँ से उठ के मैं न्यूज़ चालू कर लिया। न्यूज़ चालू करके देखा तो देखा वैगनआर का बात बोल रहा था, उसमें न्यूज़ में हो रहा था वैगनआर गाड़ी ये इको गाड़ी। मैं फिर इमीडिएट फ़ोन मिलाया न्यूज़ बंद करके, तो फ़ोन ऑफ जा रहा था। फिर हम आनंद थाने में वहाँ से निकल आए।
Police are yet to confirm the exact cause of the blast, and North Delhi Deputy Commissioner has said the investigation is ongoing as authorities work to uncover the circumstances behind the tragic incident that killed at least 8 people and injured 19 others. Let's take a listen in.
The investigation is going on and we cannot conclusively comment upon anything. Once we have the facts, hard facts in hand, then only we'll be able to. Israel is doing the same thing only. They are lifting the traces of explosives, and based on their testing, they will be able to conclusively.
How long does that process take usually?
Just now we were talking to them. Maybe 1 or 2 days they will expediting the process, and maybe they will be able to tell us in a day.
Now, the European Union has reached a provisional agreement to overhaul its farming subsidy system, cutting red tape and boosting payments for smaller farms. The deal between EU member states and the European Parliament would exempt smaller farmers from the baseline environmental requirements. It will also increase the payments they receive under the Common Agricultural Policy, worth about €387 billion. Denmark's Minister for European Affairs, Marie Berger, said the reforms would help the agricultural industry grow and boost competitiveness across Europe. The European Commission estimates the changes could save farmers up to €1.6 billion a year and limit farm inspections to once annually. Environmental campaigners, however, warn the weaker green rules could leave farmers more exposed to climate change impacts. The agreement follows months of farmer protests over strict EU regulations and cheap imports. The reforms now await formal approval by the EU Council and the Parliament.